Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be visiting several big box stores to see if we can find some new restocks of plants. The first location we will be going to is in North McKinney, Texas, off of I-75. So we'll see what kind of plants they have or if they've gotten a restock. I know that the last time I visited, they didn't have any, but we will see if we can find some really cool looking plants. I know Costa Farms has been sending a lot of cool trending tropicals, but like I've said in the past videos, not every single big box store is created equal. So we'll see if there is a selection here. So we're going to go ahead and walk over to the outdoor section. And again, thank you to everybody who has been kind enough to take the time to watch my plant shopping videos. I really do try hard to get you guys daily videos at least twice a day. I've just been a little bit late on my premieres. But as you can see, we're going to walk over here, and I think this location really doesn't have a lot of plants. It looks like they just have like maybe an 8-foot section of plants. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look at what plants they have available over here. I'm just going to pan over. It looks like they've got the succulents. They've got a couple of calatheas, like this self-watering calathea is a calathea medallion. I often see this type of calathea at a lot of big box stores. It actually looks pretty healthy, so I don't mind that at all. And then we have a philodendron Birkin right over here. These are all for $14.97. It's grown by Costa Farms, but it is actually called Plants with Benefits through Walmart. So this is another Aglaonema Silver Bay. These are the very easy to find plants, like this Dracaena fragrans right over here. That one is for $19.84. Not bad price for that. And we are going to be looking at this Aglaonema Red Siam. Everybody knows I love Aglaonemas, easy care plants. The best thing to do is not water them often, give them bright indirect sunlight, and then you're good to go. What else do we have here? We've got some trending tropicals mixed in, and this is in Alocasia Jacqueline. This one actually looks like the most healthy looking Alocasia Jacqueline that I've seen out of all the Walmarts I've visited. The leaves don't have really yellow edging. Somebody was telling me in the comments that that's how Alocasia Jacqueline looked like, but it just didn't seem right. So this one right here looks like a pretty healthy Alocasia Jacqueline. I'm not really a fan of the leaf shape or color, so that's why I'm not jumping up and down to get one. But hey, you know that we do have an Alocasia Jacqueline. Here is actually a Dieffenbachia Camille, very nice for $9.97. Really good looking Dieffenbachia right over here. I love the bright variegation. I would love to grow some Dieffenbachia, but they really do require a lot of high light, and that's not something I really have for my space. But nonetheless, that's a nice Dieffenbachia right here. We have a beautiful Spathiphyllum or peace lily. That's massive leaves right here. So you can actually go to any Walmart and you will see these massive easy to find plants. We've got Dracaena, we've got Dieffenbachia, we've got some Sansevieria right over here. It is slightly disappointing that this Walmart, which is way up north in McKinney, doesn't really have a big selection. I would still say that the Louisville, Texas Walmart had the biggest selection by far. But, you know, trending tropicals is still coming through for Costa Farms. Like, look at this beautiful Monstera adansonii. This is for $19.84. And for those who are just tuning into my plant shopping videos, thank you so much for visiting. I definitely want to, you know, document what kind of plants I see on the daily. Now, this is a nice looking Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue by Costa Farms. This is basically a mutated version of the global green pothos. You can see that there is more like neon yellow variegation. Now with this particular pothos, you definitely need to give it a lot of bright and direct light to get that very defined sectoral variegation. I actually would buy one of these Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue at this particular Walmart because these are the best ones I've seen so far. Really nice variegation. Love the self-watering planters that Costa Farms has set out. I've noticed that Walmart is the only one that has self-watering planters for trending tropicals. I still see at Lowe's the ceramic planters. Not really a fan of the ceramic planters. I love that they moved to a more of a matte self-watering planter. Very good move by Costa Farms. Absolutely love it. Let me know in the comments if you like it as well. And we see a bunch of Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. We've got some exotic angels, 3.5-inch potted up starter plants right here. We've got some different types of begonia rex. We've got this beautiful snow white waffle plant. Mine is doing very well. These all seem to be like plants that are a little bit dehydrated. They are very light to when I lift them up, so they are bone dry. Somebody's got to come over here and water these plants. This one is a really cool Hydra helix, guys, and this one is the mini Adam ivy. Love the variegation. I love the very small compact leaves. I am definitely going to be getting a Hydra helix and doing the Hydra helix challenge, where I'm going to be documenting every day what my English ivy is going to do growing indoors, and whether it's going to actually get spider mites or if it's going to thrive. So we will see. But I do like these smaller hanging baskets of Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. These are for $10.97, which is not bad. And we have another begonia rex here. I do love the silver foliage that this one has. Very nice looking one. And even on the undersides have that red veination. Very nice looking plant. For all of those who actually collect houseplants, I asked in my previous video, do you guys buy like larger specimen plants like that peace lily, or do you guys end up just getting like the exotic angel plants and like spend time growing the plant? Let me know in the comments if you do that. Let me know in the live premiere chats if you do that. And to all those who constantly tune into the live chats, thank you so much. I hope we continue to grow our community at Growfolds. My subscribers, I do call the plant foldies. So plant foldies, we are now going to another Lowe's, which is literally across the highway off of I-75 in North McKinney, Texas. So this is the Lowe's that I have often actually this is the Lowe's that I visited on Christmas Eve, where we had a bunch of plants that didn't look very healthy. But we're gonna walk over here, and as you can see, there is that one like fixture wooden pallet of trending tropical plants that I've seen at about 4 Lowe's now. So it looks like Costa Farms just sent out this this palette of trending tropicals plants. We see a bunch of these other plants, that the larger specimen plants like the Dracaena. We have that Aglonema white margin, but we are going to look at this. We are looking at an Aglonema red Siam right over here. Very lush, healthy looking Aglonema. And what I like about this is they did change up the planter. So this one is actually in a ceramic planter, but I am a fan of like the honeycomb texture, and that navy blue is a really nice touch. So I wouldn't actually repot the planter. I would actually buy this as is and grow it in this planter. This is a beautiful Calathea medallion, and you can see this planter right there. I love that Costa Farms is really experimenting and making some changes in their planters, because I do believe that the planter itself accentuates the beauty of the plant. And then right over here, thank you to the Plant Foldy viewer subscriber that gave me the plant ID for this Calathea. This is the Vitada Calathea. I love this one just because look at the leaves right here. It is really a traditional green type Calathea. The undersides are not purple, but this one gives it character. These are all for $15.97, so it's not bad. And we have some really cute ponytail palms, and you can see that these are freshly unfurling new leaves. You can see that bright variegation, or that bright yellow greenish color. I am so excited to finally see this. So like for Aglonema lovers, even though this is really more of a green plant, this is the Aglonema white margin. I love the white stems, very white stems for this plant. And you can see that on the all of the green foliage has white borders around it. And look at how white the stems are. It's a common Aglonema, but nonetheless one that I haven't seen in a big box store. And then these are beautiful Dieffenbachia. This is probably my favorite Dieffenbachia. And then this one right here is a different one. This one is a Dieffenbachia maculata. These are all for $19.98 at Lowe's, so not a bad price at all. Now I know that Aglonema white margin was like $22.48. I don't mind, paying that for that large of an Aglonema, but all of these other plants that we often see at big box stores, this Lowe's has a really good presentation for this restock. You can see that this is a Dracaena marginata. I prefer the cream pink, lining variegation on it. And then we have some yucca plants right over here. Really nice that they were able to get this full restock. This is about 20 feet of shelving. And then we have some really large bird of paradise. I don't really grow bird of paradise just because it does require a lot of lighting conditions. And like I've said before in past videos, when you go to big box stores or just plant shopping, the tendency for all of us plant lovers is that we want to buy everything. But sometimes we really have to slow down and think, do I have the correct lighting conditions? Do I have the time to invest in the care? What are my humidity conditions looking like? Do I need to go ahead and repot the plant? There's just a lot of factors that you need to consider when buying plants. It's just easy to buy everything. Like I would totally buy all of these plants, and my wallet is literally creating a big hole because doing these big box videos on the daily basis, I have grown my collection by quite a bit in the last 3 weeks. But you can see there's some really cute yucca plants here. We have some Dracaena canes right over here. Look at the green on green variegation. Very lovely plant. And what I love about this Dracaena is it doesn't require as much high lighting conditions. Obviously, it will grow better in bright indirect sunlight, but it can tolerate low light conditions, so that's really awesome. Now, this Dieffenbachia, unfortunately, cannot tolerate lower light conditions, otherwise it gets very leggy. You really need bright light, but that's probably one of the best variegated Dieffenbachia I've seen. I just really like that the green is very much contrasting the lighter foliage color. And obviously I like looking at plants from below, so you can see that there is a different element right over here. The light hitting the foliage makes it look so beautiful. I just love going to big box stores, and you can see this Aglaonema white margin. Like, look at how ghostly white these stems are. Super gorgeous, very elegant looking Aglaonema. I'm glad that I was able to find one a couple days ago and add it to my collection. I definitely need to find a better planter. Obviously, it's in that plastic container. I might just leave it there for a while and just put it in a catch pot or something of that nature. I definitely want to get a nice stylish ceramic planter. And as you can see, Costa Farms has pretty much been growing these trending tropicals like weeds. Like everywhere you go, you are seeing Alocasia silver dragon. I'm actually going to try to get an Alocasia green dragon. It's basically just a green version of this, but nonetheless, look at how beautiful this is. And these Alocasia are definitely not dehydrated like some of the Walmarts I just visited. And this one is actually happy. Look, it's blooming. Really cool. But you guys, if you see blooms on any of your tropical plants, I would highly suggest cutting the blooms, just because it takes so much energy and the plant focuses more on the blooms versus creating the beautiful foliage that we're growing these plants for. And look at this one just unfurled. It's got a lighter green color that turns that silvery gray color. It's beautiful. And I like seeing the Alocasia silver dragon right next to this Scindapsus trubii moonlight. Now, these are all for $19.84 in trending tropicals. And the difference between these trending tropicals versus the ones at Walmart is they are in ceramic planters versus the self-watering planters. I think the self-watering planters are better than these ceramic planters. And I also don't like the texture of the planter. I wish they would have just made it like a solid plain color or just a plain texture. That was a Calathea dotty, and then this is another type of trending tropical. I can't really pronounce the name, so I'll just put the plant ID in the subtitles, but this one is absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of a cross between like a Syngonium / Caladium, and this one is happy too. If I were to buy a plant, I would buy this one just because of the new leaf unfurling. And that's another thing, you know, my tips for buying big box store plants is definitely inspect your plants. Make sure you check the soil, the underneath the leaves, on top of the leaves, to see if there's any pest. And look for new signs of growth. If it's growing, then that means that the plant is actually happy and thriving. But we're gonna walk over here, so I'm not sure if they actually made improvements in their plant styling, the health of the plants. I'm hoping it's not gonna be like the Lowe's and Little Elm where everything needed to just be on clearance. As you can see, we actually have some outdoor plants in here. You know, North Dallas recently just got some really cold weather that was down to like 9 degrees. We're not really used to that. I'm glad that the weather is starting to warm back up again, but we can see this beautiful cordyline plant or tea plant right here. Love that. And then we have some ferns, and I actually really like this variegated ginger plant right over here. I tried to grow this variegated ginger plant indoors. It didn't really work out for me. They just ended up getting spider mites. Some people say they can grow that indoors. Let me know in the comments if you've grown variegated ginger indoors. I've noticed that in like Houston, Texas, or places that have a higher humidity, these can grow outdoors and thrive. So I think that's really awesome. I do love the variegation of the foliage of those leaves. And obviously these tea plants or these cordyline plants, they're beautiful to look at, but they are meant to be grown outdoors. And I'm not really sure what that plant is right there. But we do have some more outdoor plants here, like this Dusty Miller. It looks super cool, and this one's for $1.98. Really cute. Obviously, these are ground covers or planters for outdoors. You wouldn't be able to really grow that indoors. Although I guess any plant you can grow indoors, you would just have to give it either some really good lighting conditions. So yeah. My thing about it is, so we have this fixture right here, and then the last Lowe's I had, they had it really styled. They just have like a bunch of random plants here. Like we have this Nanthy plant right here, and just some random plants. So like I'm not really feeling it. I am feeling this Dracaena Hurricane, very, very cute, by Urban Jungle right over here. But you can see that they've kind of just thrown a bunch of plants together. We got some more Urban Jungle Dracaena. I actually like the curling swirl of that one. And then we have some ZZ plants right over here by Urban Jungle, but they've just got a mixture of plants. I kind of wish they would have like styled that a little bit better. And then we have a bunch of bromeliads. You can never go to like a Lowe's or a big box store and not see bromeliads. And we can see that, you know, from face value, there are a lot of plants here, but we're going to go ahead and look a little bit further to see how healthy the plants are. It looks like we have some more orchids, and this is a really cool looking bromeliad. Look at that. This is a different type of bromeliad. I haven't seen it, and it looks like there's some water pockets right over here. That's actually a nice looking bromeliad. I love the it looks almost like a Dracaena. And then we have some more bromeliads right over here. I haven't seen these types either. Typically I see the ones with like the bright flowers. And then we have a bunch of Ficus lyrata over there. More orchids. Yeah, these orchids are really nice looking as well. Lowe's probably has the best selection of orchids and variety, and even the pricing isn't bad. So if you're into orchids, definitely go to Lowe's. But I'm looking at these bromeliads. Very nice looking bromeliads. I like the subtle color. It's not so stark bright with color. Sometimes you want to add plants that are a little bit subtle versus just having vibrant colors. This is a beautiful looking Phalaenopsis orchid. I do like that canary yellow on it. I haven't seen that. And then we have some delicate pinks right over here. And this purple is really nice looking as well. So I definitely want to feature these orchids. These orchids are looking fairly healthy actually, and there's quite a bit of them. I definitely want to do maybe an orchid episode where I just solely focus on orchids. I just need to familiarize myself a little bit better because there are different types of orchids. Like this particular orchid right here, can't pronounce the genus, can actually tolerate lower light conditions. So that's really cool. The kind of orchids I want to get though, like this one says this is a dendrodium, low light condition, so it's not bad for that orchid. I am looking for Vanda orchids, but we are going to look at this end cap right here with plants, and those planters are really cute. We have some more Urban Jungle mixtures of plants. Actually, they've just mixed up a bunch of plants right over here. This is a beautiful looking Calathea dotty. Nice looking one, and this one is for $13.98. I haven't seen an Urban Jungle Calathea dotty, so that's kind of cool. What else do we have here? We've got some different types of plants, but what I'm noticing at this Lowe's is the plant merchandising and styling isn't on point. And this one right here is a somewhat nice looking Epipremnum aureum enjoy. We've got a bunch of mixed up plants right here. We've got some bird's nest fern. We've got some more Calathea right over here. We've got a Philodendron hederaceum over here that's looking a little bit leggy. We've got a lot of plants that just need to be cleaned up. Like this one right over here is a sad looking Ficus elastica altissima. This one is actually a really nice looking Aglonema pink siam. It looks like the stems though are getting a little bit leggy. But it's not a bad looking plant. I would actually put that one on clearance. I would definitely put, not this one, this is a nice looking Aglaonema Maria. It's actually probably the best looking plant on the shelf, but that Scindapsus trubii, that Costa Farms Trending Tropicals, that needs to go on clearance. It's like there's only like 2 or 3 plants in there. It's lost a lot of foliage, and then you can see this one's got a lot of leaf damage for this Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and then we got a bunch of Rhaphidophora hyei over there. What else do we have going over here? This one is actually not looking too great either. That's another Philodendron hederaceum. We do have a bunch of Kokedama right here for $21.98, and we have some dehydrated staghorn ferns. That's kind of actually sad because staghorn ferns are really pretty, but I am going to pan over here on some of the Kokedama orchids. They're not bad looking, but I just feel like the organization and styling of this particular Lowe's could use some work. Like if I would have like focused on some of the shelves, like the shelves are dirty, they've got random stuff over here. They can at least clean the shelves to make it look good. If you saw my last big box video, I featured Target, where that Target location had very clean, stylish plants. The plants actually had leaf shine. It just entices you to want to buy more plants when you can see healthy, stylized, merchandise plants. Let me know in the comments if you agree or you don't really mind, you know, the styling as long as the plant is healthy. I'm all about presentation just because I feel like that's how you lure, you know, plant collectors like myself to buy plants that we really don't need to be adding in our collection. So as you can see, I panned over a bunch of different plants, but like we've got trending tropicals mixed up with self-watering planters. We've got handwritten signs over here. I don't mean to gaslight this particular Lowe's, but this was the Lowe's on Christmas Eve that it just didn't have it together, and they still don't have it together midway into 2024 January. Like this right here, there's another Aglaonema. I don't have that plant ID, but super leggy. That should be on clearance. Would you agree that a lot of these plants aren't looking that healthy? Would you buy a plant from this location? I definitely would. Like we have a dead hanging basket right over there. That should be $0. Nonetheless, I don't know if it's just that this isn't a priority, but yeah. This one is a Homelimena Shelby. That one's not a bad looking one, but you can see that there are other plants that are not healthy. So that's always what makes me weary about buying plants at a big box store. If the plants all around are not healthy, you can assume that there are already pests and you're gonna have to do some pest control. This is definitely a Lowe's, unfortunately, that I wouldn't buy any plants from. The only plants I would buy from this Lowe's would be the ones from the very beginning, just because it's away from all of these plants. Like this fixture right here doesn't necessarily have a lot of like nice looking healthy plants. Everything's kind of jumbled together. I would totally volunteer myself to try and merchandise that, but this is the third location we're going to visit, and this one is the Lowe's in Prosper, Texas, right off of Custer Road, the very far north corner of it. This Lowe's was about 15 minutes away from the previous Lowe's. I featured this Lowe's multiple times just because this is a Lowe's that really has some great looking plants. Again, this video is all about showing that every big box store is not created equal. It really depends on the care of the particular big box store and just what plants they get. So we're gonna see what we walk into today. I'm gonna actually go through the entrance. They don't have the garden center open. So as you can see, they have a similar setup with a bunch of the larger plants. But what the cool thing is like, for instance, this Dracaena Hawaii, looking very nice. Look at all of these plants, and look, these plants are for $14.98. Very interesting to see that the Lowe's 15 minutes away, they didn't have these plants on sale for $14.98. So it pays to actually do a lot of plant shopping. Like you might want to window shop and see what big box stores are around, because this one, for instance, like if I am in the works to try to buy a plant today, I'd buy it here just because it's on sale for $14.98. Look at how huge these bird of paradise is, for instance. I feel like these are much larger than the ones I saw at the Lowe's that didn't really have the most healthy plants. Does anybody here actually grow a bird of paradise? I'd like to know what your care tips are for that, just because I don't really have the space, but I do enjoy it. I always love going back to this Dracaena right over here, or this Dieffenbachia and Dracaena right over here. Very nice looking foliage. So right from the get-go, they have that fixture. And then this is also the same palette of Trending Tropicals plants, but we've got them on sale for $14.98 and $10.98. The $10.98 is a steal. I would totally go back to this location if I was gonna buy like another calathea, but this one right over here is actually on sale. So instead of it being $19.84, this is for $14.98. This is a Costa Farms Trending Tropical. Love the leaves. It looks like every single Lowe's around this area, the North Dallas area, received this like palette of plants. This is a nice Scindapsus trubii Moonlight. I might end up getting one of these actually since it is on sale. I like this, you know, the look of the Scindapsus trubii Moonlight. The only problem is these are one of the plants that takes a little bit more to grow. It's a slower growing Scindapsus. I tend to like plants that grow a little bit faster, although I would say I have a lot of aglaonema in my collection, and aglaonema are a bit slower in growth. But look at this one. This is for $10.98 for all of those new Costa Farms like planters with the new ceramic planters that look like honeycombs. This is a really nice Calathea medallion, but look at that neutral gray color. I love the planter, and this is for $10.98 with the planter included. So if you are in the Dallas North, North Dallas market, please visit the Lowe's off of Prosper in Custer Road. They have some nice looking plants, and they have these ones on sale. So these are not a bad price at all. And obviously we have this Calathea vittata. These Calathea vittata are just giving me all sorts of life, just because every single one that I've seen off of this palette, super healthy plant. If Calatheas were just not as finicky and fussy, I would totally buy that. I think the next one I buy would be this Calathea vittata. It just has a different look about it. And then we have some more ponytail palms, and we have some more aglaonema red siam. Beautiful plant. I love the pink stems. They're very delicate looking. They just look nice, and this is for $10.98 with this beautiful, stylish navy blue ceramic planter. I love that Costa Farms had this planter be more of a matte finish versus like a glossy finish. I think it just gives, for anybody who's into like modern contemporary, it's a definitely a good styling choice as far as a planter. But these are all for $10.98. Definitely a good price for these healthy, fresh looking plants. We're going to go ahead and look at this one right over here. This is a bunch of succulents, and I've stated in the past that I'm not really into succulents. I don't know a lot about succulents. I just know that they need a lot of bright light, and they don't like to be watered. Otherwise, that's how you end up like root rotting and killing them. But this is a little cute setup. It looks like they had re-merchandised some of these plants. So we're just going to take a look at what plants they have at this Lowe's. This is a string of bananas, and this one is for $7.98 in a little small cute hanging basket. I am really excited that I was able to get a hanging basket to actually hang in my kitchen. I use command strips that could hold up to 33 pounds, and I have yet to see my Hoya carnosa Crimson Princess fall, so I'm excited about that. But I love this rainbow elephant ear plant, or no, let me see that. Nope, that's the wrong one, but I'll go ahead and flash that plant ID right over here. Those are for $7.98. Cute looking hanging baskets. And we have some flowering plants right over here. I'm going to go ahead and pan over this Vanda orchid. So they've got some nice looking Vanda orchids right here. What's appealing to me about Vanda orchids is not necessarily the bloom of the orchid. It's more about the aerial roots that they present. It's a nice looking style of plant, and I love this. This is definitely that royal purple, and then we have this magenta right over here. There's a Vanda orchid. Me coming from being from the Philippines, they have this Vanda orchid called the Waling Waling. It is definitely the queen of Vanda orchids. Definitely take a look at it, and you can see that they got Calathea orchids right over here. By Better Grow, really nice one. I like buying the Better Grow orchid bark mix. That's what I use to mix in my soil for all of my aeroids and houseplants. It gives me a very chunky soil mix, but you can see there are different types of orchids right over here. We've got more orchids, some Philodendrons right over here. I do love the colors of these orchids. Like, look at this one. This is a really nice orange one right over here with some like lavenders, pinks, and purples. Very delicate looking one. Um, I don't know, maybe sometime in the spring or summer I might add an orchid, but if I am going to add an orchid, I'm definitely going to buy it at Lowe's or Trader Joe's. But you can see there are some bromeliads here, and then we have some more orchid kokedama. We have more Vanda orchids right over here. I just love the roots. What do you guys think about Vanda orchid roots? Do you think they're cool? Do you think they're scary? I think they're lovely, and I definitely would love to have like a Vanda orchid in like over my kitchen or something, just right where you get, you know, bright indirect sunlight. This one is for $36.98. Not bad at all. I'm actually gonna look up on eBay if I can find like a Walling orchid, just because it's just such a beautiful Vanda orchid. But you can see that this Lowe's is already miles ahead in terms of their plant styling, their merchandising, and the overall health of the plant. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? And to care for a Vanda orchid, all you have to do is grow it up on like a hanging basket right here. Definitely don't plant it in bark or soil, and just take a spray bottle and spray the aerial roots and you're good to go. The roots will turn green, so that's when you know you're hydrating the roots, but then they'll turn that silvery gray color when they need to be watered. So just FYI, I learned that when I actually had a Vanda orchid at one point. And then we have a bunch of ponytail palm in a self-watering planter by Costa Farms. Those are for $15.98. And we'll just go ahead and pan over here. It looks like their stock at this Lowe's location is starting to thin out, which means if they're starting to thin out, they are probably anticipating more plants restock. So I will be checking out a lot of the Lowe's, but obviously every single Lowe's never runs out of bromelia. That one's actually a nice one for $10.98. Look at the pink, the neon pink color on that. That's a really nice one. And then we have some more Philodendrons orchids right over here. Look at how beautiful that is. And we have some Scheffleras right in the planter as well. They got like a combination of plants with the orchid. And we'll look at some more orchids right over here. I like the lavender purple color with the light yellow. Very nice contrast. We have some more orchids right over here. I definitely want to grow some orchids. Just every time I see a big box store like Lowe's, which is pretty much every day because I go to Lowe's often and other big box stores to film, I just see orchids. So I could say I claim to see orchids. And then there's some Monstera deliciosa. We have some more kokedama bromeliads. I do like that, but I prefer the kokedama philodendron orchids right over here. And I like that they've got it all lined up, like bromeliads in one section, orchids in another, so that Lowe's off of North McKinney, way up in North McKinney, they could take some lessons on like plant styling. I know I'm gaslighting that particular Lowe's, but if you have plants, it's not that hard to merchandise, or at least I feel like it's not. Now we have some more trending tropicals over here. We've got some Raven ZZs for $14.98. That's not bad at all. I just wish that they had the Walmart self-watering planters rather than the ceramic ones, but I might end up coming back here. And actually, this is a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma I have featured in multiple videos. I remember seeing this and I was like, this Rhaphidophora tetrasperma has put on so much growth to the point where it's going to need a moss pole or some type of support, because look at how tall this is. Unfortunately, this leaf was a little bit damaged, but you can see how tall it is, and now it is on sale for $14.98 right over here. I would actually cut this back and propagate it, but nonetheless, it's a nice looking Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and it is on sale for $14.98. So that's what I love about the Dallas-Fort Worth area, especially North Dallas. We just have so many varieties of plants available at big box stores. You can see this Rhaphidophora hyee. This has been growing, and you can see that the leaves need to be on a plank or growing up. Otherwise, they start to really downsize in size, which is what I find quite interesting. We have a Ficus elastica burgundy right over here. And we have this tropical houseplant food fertilizer. I haven't used this. I just have the liquid version of houseplant fertilizer by Miracle Grow, but that one I haven't seen. We have some more Dracaenas. Dracaenas right over here. We've got some cool looking Aglaonema white margin, one of my favorite Aglaonema. A bunch of really massive Majesty palms. But we are going to take a look at some of the foliage right over here. Look at how beautiful this Alocasia silver dragon. Mine is holding on really strong. I'm afraid that it's going to get spider mite, so I have been spraying it with a product called Protect by We the Wild. It is a small business based out in Houston, Texas that has a bunch of organic plant care, and it's worked out well for me. And what else do we have here? We have some Calathea mosaicas. We saw this at a Home Depot, which happens to be on the same road, Costa Road, just further down the street, and they were featuring some Calathea mosaica. That's really nice. And I am still looking at these Aglaonema pink Siam. So this is one that I have seen for about 4 weeks now, and you can see that it's growing even more leaves. It's getting more pink. It's looking so beautiful. I already have one, but I could possibly use another one since it's on sale for $14.98. Nice looking Aglaonema pink Siam, and then this is another Aglaonema red Siam, but look at the leaf of this one. This one actually has a very nice red leaf. I love this one. I would totally pick it up. It's starting to decline in health, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that down. We have an Aglaonema Golden Bay. Those are the same two that I've been looking at for the past month. They still look pretty healthy, so I would at least say that this Lowe's particularly does take care of its plants. They do some maintenance, and these Calathea have been around for about a month now. These are the Calathea Green Goddess. It is definitely a green goddess. Look at how beautiful the leaves are. It's not a typical Calathea just because it doesn't have like the purple undertones, but nonetheless, green plants are beautiful plants. I think just, you know, that jade deep marine green is a nice looking one, nice looking foliage for that Calathea. But as you can see, I'm just going to keep panning out. We've got some massive Majesty palms right over here. Now some of their hanging baskets are starting to kind of look a little bit rough, so I'm just going to pan over here. As you can see, they don't have as many hanging baskets, but nonetheless, it doesn't look too bad at all. I'm just going to be critical, but we can see that some of their plants are starting to decline in health. This one isn't. This Warneckii Dracaena is not bad at all. Beautiful looking Dracaena, and the variegation is very nice. And then we have some different type of Fittonia right over here. This one is a mini red vein. I haven't seen these often at Lowe, so I'm glad that they have a whole selection right over here. I would love to grow Fittonia plants, but they just require a lot of humidity, and the water their soil has to be moist. So I don't really have that soil mix. I have more of the chunky aeroid mix. This one is a really nice looking one right here. We're going to see what this is. This is a ruby red. So we've got the red mini red vein and then a ruby red. Look at the new growth. It comes out with like a really bright red, cherry red color. I like that a lot. And then what else do we have over here? We have this Dracaena that I've eyed for about a month, and it looks like it's lost a little bit of foliage right here. This is the Florida Beauty. These are all for $5.98. I ended up finding one though at Walmart, which was way more variegated, for $4.97. So I ended up picking that up. That was at the Louisville Walmart, so I was really excited about that. This is a polka dot plant actually, but this polka dot plant doesn't nearly have as much polka dot. It's a little bit darker, but it also is blooming, so I find that really interesting. So it must be happy. And we have some more of this really cool texture plant. I cannot say the plant ID, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. This is the Moon Valley Friendship plant. It's a Pilea. So I thought that was really interesting. This one is really meant for terrariums. It needs a lot more humidity than the average plant. This is by Costa Farms Exotic Angels. So I think that's really cool. We have a bunch of those. I love the neon green color and the texture of the leaves. It's very nice. And those are for $5.98. And then we're going to see some crotons right over here. This one is beautiful home decor. So this beautiful home decor plant is really interesting. It is a croton, but they've called it the beautiful home decor. So I feel like Costa Farms has to do it just a little bit better on the plant IDs. I really wish they would be a little bit more specific with that. Let me know in the comments if you agree. And look, this is for my viewers, my plant folies that want to see more Hoya. Look at this beautiful hanging basket of Hoya right over here. These are for 1984 or 1987, somewhere around that. Costa Farms has some really nice looking hanging baskets. This one is a purple waffle plant. That one's looking a little bit leggy and crispy. So you can see some of these plants are starting to decline in health. I'm hoping that the next time I go to this Lowe's, they're going to have like a full-blown restock with some fresh plants. And then we have some more Phalaenopsis orchids right over here. Can't go wrong with that. These are the miniature forms. And what else do we have over here? I do like the planter. So this is what I'm talking about. This one's for $19.98. I like that planter. I love a very simple one. I just wish Costa Farms would use those type of textures, like a very smooth texture matte versus having texture. And then we have some more Photonia right over here. What is this Photonia? Let's take a look at this. Look at that. It's beautiful. And what else do we have here? Some African violets. We're going to look at some urban jungles right over here. And we're going to pan over and take a look at some more of these Ficus elastica right over here. Nice looking healthy plants. They're still looking really healthy. I do like Ficus elastica. And then we have Calathea lancifolia or rattlesnake plant. We have a Calathea makoyana right over here. I have a large one that I got at Home Depot. And we have this nice looking green prayer plant. Look at that. I really like the delicate looking leaves, the minty leaves. Very nice. So that one's a pretty lush one. And we have a Dracaena Janet Craig. I was calling it Jenny Craig, like weight loss Jenny Craig, but it's actually Janet Craig compacta. And we have some Philodendron Hederaceum lemon lime hanging baskets. I'm looking for one. So this is interesting. On the left is the Philodendron lemon lime, and the other one is an Epipremnum aureum neon pothos. We have some more neon pothos, marble queen pothos, neon pothos again. I do like the hanging basket planters by Urban Jungle. Very nice looking stylish plants. We have a Philodendron cordatum right over here that's trailing. I would actually buy that, but I did find at another local grocery store selling these type of hanging planters for $4.99 versus $14.98. So I may revisit that. I always like looking at this croton by Urban Jungle. I wish I had that specific croton ID. And then we have some more Dracaena hurricanes right over here for $12.98. Not bad. I'm not really a fan of the planter. I just really wish they would have just had like a plain terracotta pot versus having like the texture and patterns. I like more of a minimalistic approach. And then this is a beautiful looking Epipremnum aureum neon. This one is for $13.98. Not bad. I love neon yellow looking plants. Absolutely stunning. And then we have this one right here. I can't really pronounce the plant ID, but this is another one that I've been eyeing and possibly wanting to add into my plant collection. I don't know if you guys have ever gone big box plant shopping or just plant shopping where you constantly see a specific plant and you're like, I need to add this plant to my collection. This one is one that I've been contemplating because look at the undersides of the leaves. Love that dark purple color and then just the silvery tops. I like this croton a lot. This is the banana croton just because the leaves are different. They're very delicate looking. I love that yellow line across the leaves. And then we have another croton right there. That is a croton petra. What else do we have here? We've got a hanging basket right here for $21.98. We've got some more Dracaena right over here by Urban Jungle, or not Urban Jungle, Living Trends. That's not bad. And then we have some Pachira aquatica that's basically been frost damaged. They're about to die. It's just this end cap right here is actually right next to an entrance to the garden center. And remember this Calathea I've been looking at for about a month? This is for $14.98 by Live Trends. It unfortunately has started to decline in health. This Aglaonema red Siam is still doing well in its hydroponics environment, but that Calathea is starting to decline in health, which is sad because I thought about getting it. And then we have some more Live Trends hanging baskets. Not really a fan of all of the textures. I just really like a solid like matte color. But you know, everybody has their own styling, and then you can see that all of these are plant rescues, plant casualties. I think these are actually plant casualties. It's really sad, but you know what? They're going to be culling through these plants and producing fresh looking plants. I'm hoping to check this place out within a week or two and film it to show you what kind of new plants they will get. This one right over here is a Live Trends Calathea medallion. Not a bad looking calathea. I do like the planter as well. And then we have, what else do we have over here? We've got some more hanging baskets. Very nice looking hanging baskets. I want to add more. I just want to make sure that the command strip hook that I have will not fall. Otherwise, I will start to add more hanging baskets to my plant collection because I think they look really nice. And then we have another Sansevieria here. We have an Anthurium right over here. This one is the one that has like the dark foliage. I like that a lot. We have a Aglonema Golden Bay right here with a bunch of flowers. I would totally snip all of those flowers out so it can grow more leaves versus just the blooms. And then we have this Stromanthe Triostar. Nice looking plant, but the one I bought at Target is way better looking and healthy and lush. So I lucked out with that. I'm hoping to visit that particular Target again and see if they have any new plants because they are amazing. Target really takes the crown when it comes to plant styling, or at least that one particular Target. Anyways, I know I've been rambling about plants, but hopefully you guys are enjoying my commentary. I just want to look at that, and that is basically it. I just took you guys to 3 different big box stores. I hope you enjoyed this installment, and I will definitely be showing you some more plant shopping big box videos in the next days to come. As always, please like and subscribe to GrowFold. Participate in the live chats. This is Richie, and I will be saying goodbye, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and then we will be back at it on Monday. See you then. Bye.